This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Now at 6, I'm Nicole Griffin at Butler-Tarkington Park, showing you how people working in this dangerous heat are trying to stay cool today.
And all of Indiana is under an excessive heat warning. We'll talk about how long this oppressive heat and humidity is going to last and how it's impacting one local event tonight.
Tonight, a trucker accused of causing a deadly crash is facing the possibility of years behind bars. We're asking why he was charged and others in similar situations aren't. Good evening to you here at 6 o'clock. Let's begin tonight with what everyone is talking about, the oppressive, dangerous heat wave that is now gripping Indiana, and this is only day one.
We have live team coverage as Hoosiers search for ways to beat the heat and stay safe. We're going to start with Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory.
And we took one big step forward today into the heat and humidity. We won't step out of this until we get into early next week. How warm? Felt like 106, 93 the actual high temperature. We're not likely to set any record high temperatures. It's just the humidity is so high in that combination, and the fact that we won't cool off at night, and this is really a 4-day stretch of heat. Zionsville's 92, Kokomo lower 90s, the same in Bloomington. Notice at least we have a breeze. That helps out a little bit. Temperatures from north to south, not much of a temperature range. Bedford's been the warmest. They've been into the mid-90s, but it's 91 in Bloomington and Columbus, Kokomo, Peru, Marion, all in the low 90s. And the breeze is out of the west-southwest. Here's the heat that will be pulled into the state as if this isn't warm enough. Temperatures do jump as you get west of the Mississippi River, and that will be drawn into the Hoosier State. Just to show you, from the Central Plains all the way to New York City and Boston, you have heat warnings in effect for the next few days. Thunderstorms have been moving right along that ridge, the line between the very warm air and the cooler air to the north. For the evening hours, we'll be dry. Temperatures still at 11 o'clock. We'll still be in the 80s. Kyle Mounts is down on Mass Avenue, and at least I can see over your shoulders, Kyle. The flags are waving. There is a breeze.
Yeah, there is a breeze, Kevin. That is helping us out a little bit because there's a lot of sunshine and certainly plenty of heat. Now, because of the heat earlier today, crews with the Run 317 event were even questioning whether this event would happen this evening. It is happening, but with one big change. It's now under a red flag, and what that means is it's not going to be a timed event, so participants are encouraged to walk and jog instead of pushing their limits and running. And organizers are also taking precautions here. You can see down the straightaway here, we've got misting fans. There's also tons of water ready at the water stops for these people who are going to be taking part this evening, and EMS crews are also standing by. Those temperatures going to be slow to cool for us this evening, and it's not only because of the temperatures today, but check out these temperatures, these heat index values as we go through the next several days. We're going to have feels like numbers around 105 degrees. That's why the excessive heat warning goes all the way until Sunday afternoon. Coming back here this evening, temperatures still going to be very warm as this event begins at 7 o'clock. The air temperature around 90 degrees and that heat index still around 100. So everybody's got to take it all in moderation. Amanda.
Thank you, Kyle, for a look at that, and good luck to the runners. Escaping the heat and cooling down is not easy on a day like today, especially for those who work outside. As the heat wave continues over the next few days, you need to take steps to keep you and your family safe if you are outdoors. RTV6's Nicole Griffin is working for you live tonight with important takeaways you need to consider. Nicole.
Amanda, is there any better spot than this, the Butler-Tarkington Spray Grounds? You see all the kids out here having a great time, and this water just feels amazing. But I talked to people all across central Indiana today who are working out in this heat, and they tell me shade, lots of water, and taking several breaks is key.
Working outdoors in temperatures that feel like the triple digits is not only uncomfortable, it can be dangerous.
I'm trying to stay cool.
Robert Butler is the Hendricks County assessor. He's been out in the heat since 8 o'clock Thursday morning. He's checking on construction projects as new homes are being built in Plainfield. He's seeing the workers taking steps to stay safe in the heat.
Just running a lot of fans, going around, try to stay in the shade, drinking a lot of fluids, and just staying slow, working at it.
Meanwhile, lifeguards at Indy Park's pools spend their entire day out in the heat.
Lots of water, lots of ice water, and sometimes we get to jump in the pool.
While keeping a close eye on families in the pool, they must also think about their own safety.
Lots of sunscreen. I reapply almost every time. After we go up and go through our rotation, we usually get at least like 45 minutes down, and I can actually go inside and sit in the air and stuff.
As our lifeguard safety is huge, because if our lifeguards aren't safe, our pools can't be safe. We make sure that they stay hydrated. They always have water at their stand. We will also take buckets around and dump it on their legs.
Amy Eddy says Garfield Park is her family's favorite pool to visit, and on a hot summer day, it's the perfect place to try to beat the heat.
It's too hot to be outside when you're not in the water, these kinds of temperatures.
When she's not in the pool, she sits in the shade and brings water and snacks to keep her son safe while they play in the water.
And then I'm keeping an eye on my 9-year-old who just keeps going down the water slide because he loves it. He's just making a circle. He's going right now!
What a fun time out there today. Well, if you do want to come out to one of the spray grounds like the one here at Tarkington Park, they are open until 8 o'clock tonight. And look what we found in between the break. This ice cream is also available here at the park as well. And I'm going to go ahead and enjoy it and toss it back to you guys.
All right, enjoy it. We'll carry on from here. Nick, thank you, Nicole. Research has found that it's hard to think straight when it's this hot, so the city wants to remind you to take precautions this week. Check on older family and neighbors, especially those without AC. Wear light, loose-fitting clothes that cover your skin from the sun, and drink more water than you need.
If you're in the heat and you're not sweating, that becomes a problem. If you get that cold, clammy feel, those could be signs that you might need to seek medical attention.
And when it's this hot, temperatures inside cars can become deadly in a matter of minutes. Pay special attention to your car before you lock up to make sure you don't leave pets or kids behind.
And let's talk about cooling shelters. The Salvation Army is opening its Fountain Square and Eagle Creek facilities from 9 to 5 tomorrow. Those will also be open over the weekend. Beech Grove has a cooling center open at the Hornet Park Community Center. The city of Kokomo will have a shelter open at the Senior Citizen Center on Superior Street. And due to the heat, tonight's summer concert in Noblesville's Dillon Park has been postponed. The Dew Band concert is now rescheduled for 7 p.m. on Thursday, August 8th at Forest Park. And if you're out and about and need to see the heat advisories, you can find them from Storm Team 6 on the IndyChannel.com and the Storm Shield app.
A truck driver accused of causing a deadly crash that left a mother and 2 daughters dead made his first court appearance this afternoon. Prosecutors say Bruce Pollard was speeding at 65 miles an hour in a 45-mile-an-hour construction zone when he hit and killed Alana Coons and her young twins on I-465 Sunday. Court documents filed today show Pollard stated that he is on a lot of medicine and has special pills to help him with anxiety. State police confiscated the data from Pollard's truck and found that he didn't brake until he rear-ended the mother's car. Bond was set at $100,000. It is a sad reality, but deadly crashes happen often on Indiana roadways.
And many times criminal charges are not filed. Our Call 6 Investigates team is digging into why prosecutors feel Sunday's crash was indeed a crime. Kara Kenny joins us with what she found out from the Marion County Prosecutor's Office. Kara.
That's right, Mark and Amanda. When a driver breaks a law, such as runs a red light or speeds and then causes a deadly crash, Indiana law is pretty clear that is not a crime. For it to be a crime, prosecutors have to prove the driver was reckless.
Bruce Pollard is charged with 3 counts of reckless homicide for the 3 lives lost, a mother and 2 daughters, as well as reckless operation in a highway work zone. We asked Marion County Chief Trial Deputy Prosecutor Ryan Mears why his office felt Pollard's actions rose to the level of a crime.
You know, certainly if you make a mistake in an accident, you do something that's inappropriate, then oftentimes it is negligence. I think in this particular case, though, there's a combination of factors. It's just not any one thing that you can point to. It's not just the speed. It's not just it's in the construction zone. It's not just that he was braking. It's not that he disregarded all the signs, disregarded the workers that were in the area. You have to look at it in totality, and maybe you can excuse one of those things, but you cannot excuse all 4 or 5 of those things, and that's why we felt comfortable filing charges.
Call 6 Investigates found several examples of similar crashes in which the truck driver was not charged. Judith and Gerald Williams lost 7 of their family members in a fiery crash on 65 in 2013. Records show the family's Jeep slowed for an upcoming construction zone, but the semi-truck driver was going 65 miles an hour and did not stop. The Jeep burst into flames, killing 7 people, including 4 children. The family begged for the driver, Howard Stratton, to be criminally charged, but the Jasper County prosecutor at the time told us no provable criminal event occurred. Negligent behavior alone is not enough to obtain a criminal conviction. And in another crash on I-70 in 2017, 2 young children died after a semi-truck slammed into their car. The truck driver received a civil infraction for driving too fast for the conditions, but no criminal charges. The Clay County prosecutor told us there was no evidence the driver was driving aggressively. Marion County prosecutors say under the law, truck drivers are held to a different standard.
But if you're driving a regular passenger vehicle, the time it takes you to stop, the time it takes you to accelerate is much different than the time it takes you to stop or accelerate in a semi-truck. And so that's why we have different standards of care for those vehicles.
Pollard has denied our request for an on-camera interview. He faces 19 years in prison if convicted. Prosecutors say he could face additional charges as they are waiting on results of a blood draw and updates on the condition of other victims in that crash.
And Kara, we hear a lot of times, and just to be clear, you'll hear people say that person was negligent, that person was reckless, but those aren't the same.
Yeah, we learned today those are completely different under the law. When someone is negligent behind the wheel, that's a civil matter. A criminal matter, that's when someone is reckless.
Okay.
Tragedy all around in this case. Kara Kenny, thank you. Well, still ahead here at 6 o'clock, more than 200 jobs that need filling right now in central Indiana. We will have the details for you.
And RTV6 is working for you to help solve a woman's uncollected trash problem. New developments tonight.
It's a hot night at Victory Field. You'll see a few more of these around as they've relaxed the bottled water policy. But how do the players deal with these 100-degree-plus temperatures on the field? We'll have that coming up on the news at 6.
I think if Brad is out there too much longer, the blue shirt will slowly turn to red. Temperatures way above average and into the 90s next few days. But see this dip? That's what we're looking forward to. We'll talk about our big change early next week coming up.
That's why people feel better shopping at Meijer.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
RTV6 is working for you and getting results. An Indianapolis woman's frustration about not having her heavy trash picked up for weeks is over tonight. Less than 24 hours after our story aired, DPW picked it up. Tanya Bowen sent us these pictures of the work getting done first thing this morning, and DPW also contacted us to let us know the work was done. Bowen's heavy trash day was July 2nd. When it wasn't picked up, she called the Mayor's Action Center on 5 different days asking for help. When that didn't work, she contacted RTV6. After we contacted DPW yesterday, they said they were looking into it, and as of this morning, problem solved. Remember, if you have a problem that's impacting your life and you can't get any answers or help, let us know. Just email us at workingforyou@rtv6.com. An Eastside woman is asking for help tonight identifying a man caught on security cameras. She said that he was peeking into her home and stealing tools from her garage. This happened Saturday afternoon at 11th and Franklin. She said the man took several tools, a couple of saws, a weed eater, and tool sets. Since this happened, they've installed more security cameras inside and out. If you know who this is on your screen right now, contact Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS.
RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers commitment aims to connect you with job opportunities. And right now, more than 200 warehouse positions need to be filled in Brownsburg. Adecco is handling the hiring for Radial's new Brownsburg warehouse. Approximately 225 entry-level jobs are available. Radial is an e-commerce company. You do not need prior experience and will be trained on the job. You can stop by the Well Community Center in Brownsburg Monday through Friday from 9 to 4 through August 16th to apply. For more info, look for this story on hiringhoosiers.com. The pressure of getting kids ready for back to school will be a little easier for hundreds of families, all thanks to your generous donations to the RTV6 school supply drive. RTV6 staff and other volunteers spent the day collecting your contributions of school supplies and money on Monument Circle. It all adds up to helping kids be ready to do their best when they return to the classroom. Dan Albrand brought pens, pencils, paper, and folders.
Some people run across hard times, and hey, I love to help out when I can, and I hope I'm not getting ahead of myself, but I'll be back at the toy drive. If that's, you know, I love this. Love Channel 6.
And we'd love to see you there. The supplies will be placed in backpacks and passed out to kids at the Covering Kids and Families Back to School Family Day at the Marion County Health Department on Saturday, July 27th. If you missed today's event, you can still drop off supplies at the RTV6 studios during business hours through Wednesday. And it was amazing to see how many donations we got and how many people came out, Kevin, with how hot it was outside.
Very generous, committed to helping the community. Got to love that. And we discovered in a hurry that school supplies are much heavier than toys. A box of teddy bears doesn't weigh nearly as much as school supplies. Weighing heavily on our next 3 days will be the heat and humidity. Eastern 2/3 of the country, really from the Central Plains all the way to the East Coast. Any cooler temperatures well off to the northwest. It means this: 95 tomorrow. Saturday, 96. As we get to Sunday, just slightly cooler. Thunderstorms may help us out. Where are we as far as record territory? The closest to a record high tomorrow. Every record after that, I think, is safe as you get up to 103 and then 106 on Sunday. These are the heat index values. That's really what this is about. The humidity is unusually high, with dew point temperatures surging into the mid-70s. When they get in the mid-60s, they grab our attention. Get in the mid-70s, and they impact our day in a big way. There are the heat index values expected. When will this change? Monday's the day. The cooler northwest flow will start to lower our temperature and drop the humidity, and both will have a big impact on our start to next week. We'll call it a refreshing change. 83, just a slight chance of a shower thunderstorm Monday. The humidity very low Tuesday and Wednesday, with temperatures back actually below average. Everything is relative. From where we're at now to where we'll be next week will be kind of a monumental change. Any thunderstorm threat is low. Saturday night, I'd give us a 20% chance, a little higher on Sunday, especially Sunday night as we begin the transition to the more comfortable conditions early next week. It's plan your Friday, a lot like today, couple degrees warmer. We hit 93 today, should be mid-90s in most locations, and the wind out of the southwest at least 10 to 15 miles per hour. That breeze will certainly help us out. As we go beyond and start looking into Sunday, temperatures will slowly start to change, because with the increase then in cloud cover and a few thunderstorms, that may impact the ultimate high temperature. 93, the magic number. Here's a 7-day forecast. The comfort is on the right-hand side of your screen. 3 in a row now where temperatures are close to the mid-90s, but then low to mid-80s Monday through Thursday. 4 days of comfort. After 3 days.
I think people want to hear that.
I
Yes,
like
that's
what
why
you said
I focus on
earlier.
that.
Yeah.
Start Monday, new week, new forecast.
New attitude. All right. Thank you, Kevin, for that. The Indianapolis Indians are keeping an eye on the temps and their fans over the next couple of days.
Brad Brown joins us live from a very hot Victory Field. Hey, Brad.
Woo, indeed it is. 96 degrees the temperature we're getting right now. It's about 10 degrees warmer here on the field. So let's say 105 right about now. The advantage that we have, I can take about 2 steps forward. I'm in the shade. All of a sudden, it's literally about 20 degrees cooler. Most of the seating bowl, we'll have Tony kind of pan over here, and we'll show kind of most of the main stands here at Victory Field are in the shade. So these fans are going to catch a good break that they'll only have to deal with the temperatures in that form over there. The one other thing we do have here is the bottled water policy has been a little relaxed over the course of the weekend. If you're coming to a game, bring one with you so you can stay hydrated a little bit on your own as we get to it here tonight. 4th of a 4-game series against Syracuse here tonight. We take a look earlier. Listen, these guys have been out here since about 4:30 working on this, as these players don't really have any way to escape the heat. The dugouts are in the shade, and the team has actually brought in some big air conditioning fans that'll blow a little bit of cool air in there tonight. But what about the catcher? Christian Kelly has the double dip of having to wear all that equipment behind the plate tonight. How is he going to handle 100 plus?
Just a lot of water, you know. Try to manage our work days to where we're not overworking ourselves and overheating ourselves. And then once we get to the game, just teammates usually pick you up once you get in the dugout, just throwing water in your face, and it's really good of them to do that.
Does it get any better as the evening goes on? It cools off a bit, or does that length of time start to catch up with you as well?
Well, I'm not used to playing here, but it stays light pretty long, so it's heat for about the first 7 innings, and then the last couple usually are okay.
We'll see how that goes. Most of these guys, by the way, at some point in the minor leagues have played in Bradenton, Florida. That's where the Pirates single A affiliate is. So, as you can guess, they get a lot of this type of weather down there. So, not acclimated necessarily, but certainly they've been in it before. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the Indians are home again this weekend. USAC's got a big week starting tonight. It is specifically Indiana Sprint Week. They'll be at Gas City's I-69 Speedway for the first of 8 events. It's one of the marquee events on the national racing calendar. Chris Windham is the defending Indiana Sprint Week champion. They'll go 4 nights this week and 4 more next week. We take a look. Gas City, Plymouth, Kokomo, Lawrenceburg will be the first 4 events here Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then they'll pick it up again next Thursday over at the Action Track at Terre Haute, followed by the races at Lincoln Park, Bloomington, and Tri-State Speedway and Hobstead a week from Sunday. We'll close that out. Some exciting action. We'll have a recap of Gas City for you coming up tonight on the news at 11. Also this evening, our Sports Extra Spotlight, we've got Amp Harris here to talk about his annual charity basketball game. Reggie Wayne, bunch of the Colts, Pacers, some celebrities. A big event at Indiana Black Expo coming up Saturday at 6 o'clock at the Convention Center. Amp joined us to talk a little bit more about the event, kind of the legacy that it has over more than 2 decades here in the Circle City. That'll be tonight at 11. Indians, we'll recap that one for you as well. Now we're going to go get some AC and cool off here. Back to the studio where it's cool as well to wrap up the news at 11 after this.
Now $1.99. Aldi. Shop differently.
Well, this tower cam shot teaches us a lot. Behind home plate and third baseline is where you want to be at Victory Field on the steamy day.
Absolutely.
Shade, right? Yeah, lots of shade. Temperature 91 right now with a heat index of 101. Ooh. There's where we go the next 3 days, but it's a whole new ball game on Monday.
A whole new ball game, a cooler one.
We'll be looking forward to it. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you back here at 7 o'clock.